It is time for Ross the Boss, and I'm excited about this one, Ross. It's about how to handle the break for all clubs, players. They're not far off. Obviously, they've had their own time. Now it's about coming into, hopefully, training in groups of 10. But I want to talk to you about two different ways of going about it. Here's Mitch Robinson and Joel Selwood speaking over the last 4 weeks.
I'd be surprised if more than 50% of AFL players are regularly kicking an AFL
That is
football.
unbelievable.
I'm kicking it with my roommate, pretty much Kadeen Coleman, but I was listening before and I'd agree with you on the 50% thing.
We have to understand that everyone is different. I'm one, a real self-motivated, but not every player is like that too. And we've got a few on our list that, for their own good, if they want to be a part of footy going forward, then they've got to sort of up their professionalism a bit.
Ross, two different perspectives there from Mitch Robinson and Joel Selwood. What's the expectation on players?
Well, probably performance as well. Two different clubs with historically different performances, and that maybe you can attribute some of that attitude to not doing what you need to do on breaks as to the reason why. Well, this is as a unique challenge in the AFL as it's been in 100 years. An in-season 6 to 8 week break or whatever it is. So what I would do and what I've done, it's like going to a pre-season break. What's possible? What the prescribed program, what's possible is the 44 players on your list, 100% of them comply 100% of the time and get it done. Is that realistic? But that should be the aim. So when they come back, we're going to see who's got bathers on and who's swimming without bathers, who's done the work and who hasn't. So Warren Buffett, it's who's done the work and who hasn't. So
yeah, that's a good analogy, Ross. And I think we're going to talk about the gap that could widen also coming up shortly. But just on that, the question of the carrot, you've got the GWS, who are obviously striving for a premiership, versus the Suns, who are just hanging in there as a club. The carrot being dangled with you.
Yeah, well, really simply for the viewers, psychologically, it's much easier to train hard with a view that you can potentially win that cup. It feels within reach. So Jeremy Cameron, Matty De Boer, they're going to wake up in the mornings and go, right, we've got to get this done today because we're after the cup after, and they're seared by a grand final loss and embarrassment. Young Gold Coast list, without the leaders, the body of work behind them, they wake up, that cup, it doesn't feel within striking distance, but they've got to adopt a mentality that we need to do the work as we're trying to win a premiership, otherwise they never improve. That's the psychological challenge.
Fantastic. I want to put up two players here, Ross, at the same football club. Scott Pendlebury, one of the great pros we've ever seen in the history of the game, versus this guy, Jordan De Goey, full of talent, but lets himself down when he gets back. How tight a leash do you keep on someone like Jordan over a break like this?
Well, I think within the carrot group, those that can reach for a cup, and I think Collingwood have won their last two flags in October, and I think 1990 and 2010. So it's another October final series. Yes. So here you go. So maybe we say that to Jordan. But you send Scott away, no problem, doesn't need much help, and he'll influence the group. So with Jordan, you probably sit him down and go, mate, you can help win us this cup. So we need you to do everything you possibly can. Are you going to be perfect? No. But what support can we put in place? And understand, every time you commit, we get closer to the cup. Every time you don't do a session, it's further away we get. So
hasn't missed a beat. Hasn't missed a beat. I mean, you see him every night in the news. He's running around. He's working with his old mates.
I've heard different things a few months ago, Ed. But just on when he returned,
there's a drive-by.
Just on the gap between
killed him round one.
The most experienced teams and the lesser teams, Ross. We've got a bit of a gap here of when they return. Just that the amount of pre-seasons from Richmond compared to Carlton.
Yeah, and you hear coaches like ex-coaches and the current coaches talk about.
Sorry, this is top five in the best.
Yeah. So what they've done is the pre-seasons. It's almost double Richmond's top five to Carlton. So they've done the work. They're going to handle the work. They're seasoned at doing the work, and they're going to come back, theoretically, they should, in better shape and ready to go. That's why we all bang on about you need 100 games, you need 15 players with 100 games, 5 years experience, and you're physically and mentally ready to win a premiership. And that's a stark graphic.
What importance do you place on the fitness coach in terms of, you've seen your coach as number one, where does the fitness coach
Well,
sit?
at this point, you flip it. Like I heard Nathan Buckley and the senior coaches are talking to Gillan McLaughlin on return. The high performance managers should be in there talking about what we need.
Here is Darren Burgess, who's come on a big price tag at Melbourne.
They're number one over the last 6 weeks. That you flip the role, you take a back seat, they inform you what needs to be done, you tick it off, they get up in front of the group and say, this is the program, if you stick to it, it's an opportunity for us to get an advantage and we come back in great shape. They're highly paid, And if I'm a senior coach and you're going again, you can't win it without a great performance manager. It's impossible.